Today, we're diving into a brand new Skyrim follower mod with Ashe, Crystal Heart by Marty. This mod comes from the creator of the Serana Dialogue Add-on. His Serana mod is one of the most downloaded and endorsed follower mods of all time, having revoiced and rewritten Serana from the Dawnguard DLC in order to play a bigger role in your game. When I covered the Serana Dialogue Add-on, I noted that it was one of the most fleshed out and feature-complete follower mods that I had ever played, and that I'd be interested in seeing what Marty could do with a brand new original character all his own. And that is where Ashe comes in. Ashe is a Breton adventurer, complete with her own full questline, said to be around half the size of the Dawnguard DLC. With a mysterious backstory, multiple choices, and outcomes, you can help Ashe face her past, while also choosing her path in life. Much like Marty's Serana mod, Ashe comes with several unique features, including a training and sparring system, and she can lend you her services as a blacksmith to both forge and improve your weapons. Ashe's story and character contain JRPG influences, combined with Skyrim's more Celtic aesthetic. So for that reason, she might stand out a bit more from your usual Skyrim character. I know a lot of people are seeing the 2B inspiration in particular. The mod is fully voiced, with Ashe herself being played by Anna Rust, an actress who has had roles in Cyberpunk 2077, Starfield's Shattered Space DLC, Horizon Forbidden West, and much more. Alongside her is a full cast, including several actors who do their own impressions of Skyrim's vanilla voice types, in order to try and make use of some of the game's existing characters. And I recognize one of the actors on that list as well. The mod is available for both PC and Xbox systems, and it comes with no hard requirements. But it does come with compatibility for several mods. Once installed, you'll receive a new quest upon loading into the game, prompting you to find a merchant in Whiterun or Falkreath, who can point you to a strange ashen-haired mercenary. Alternatively, you can immediately find Ashe in the Winking Skeever in Solitude. Also, before we begin, I want to add that I was running into some issues with Ashe's outfits and, physics. One of my friends in the modding scene, Brandy, really helped me in getting it fixed in Body Slide, but as I understand it, there will be some official patches to address some of the physics and outfit issues that a few people have been running into.
It's a fine day with you around.
Any news? You always seem to know what's happening around here.
Oh, not much. Just the usual hustle and bustle. Though, there was a rather interesting mercenary who stopped by my stall a while back. Ashe, her name was. Striking woman with hair as white as snow.
I think you have a crush.
Said she was headed to Solitude to find work.
A mercenary, huh? Well, I might need some extra muscle.
If you're headed that way, tell her I said hello. She did me a big favor once, helped me retrieve some stolen goods from a band of nasty bandits. Tough as nails, that one. You'd be lucky to have her on your side.
Alright, there you go.
Farewell.
You're that one from the college. Heard about you.
So obviously, immediately, we're getting a look at the impressionist
Divine
voices
smile on you,
at
friend.
the new cast trying to imitate some of Skyrim's
Greetings, citizen.
original
Staying out
voice
of trouble, I
actors.
presume?
Which there is an option when installing the mod to disable the impressionist voices altogether if you don't really like it. Personally, I think it's well done. I think it's probably one of the better attempts that I've heard, and we're only just starting, so we'll hear more examples as we go. If anything, I would say the only real reason it's a little bit more noticeable is because you can hear a few more of the inhales, a little bit more of the breath in the impressionist voice compared to vanilla Skyrim acting. Well, I hope I'm not interrupting, just, barging into a stranger's room, private room, in the inn. Oop.
The
Hello.
name's Ashe. If it's mercenary work you need, that'll be 200 gold.
200 gold? That's a bargain. Yeah, well, I just wanted to talk.
Oh. Most people ask for mercenary work. Sorry, not interested in even a cursory conversation. If you don't want to hire me, then leave, please.
You know what? It's fair. I'm kind of wasting her time. I like how I can still continue with it and say, oh, I know you told me to leave, but I'm gonna push anyway. Why are you here?
The exit's out that way.
Damn, alright. Cross and everything. Can you get out of here? We're trying to have a conversation. Or at least, I was trying to have a conversation. She's even walking away from me. I'll ask the armor question after I'll hire her. The name's Alia. I'll take that offer. Little stretch, right? Gotta stay limber.
Then that's business. Any questions before we venture out?
I have plenty. What's your specialization?
Glad you asked. I deal mostly with two-handed weapons, if you couldn't already tell by my massive sword here.
It's not that
Might be
massive.
surprising for a woman of my size, but I can wield these beasts rather well.
I didn't think anything of it. Why are you here?
I'm a mercenary, looking for work around here. Let's keep it at that.
It's a pretty normal answer, to be fair. Why aren't you drinking or eating anything, getting a little invasive, getting a little personal here?
Because I'm not hungry, and it's none of your business.
It really isn't, to be fair. Why are your prices lower than the usual average?
While I am skillful in combat, I haven't been a mercenary for long. I might not stay one for long either. Personal reasons, but I'm training for something.
Also, there is a little bit of clipping on her tights, on her boots. It's just due to body slides, so you might not have that same issue yourself. That's interesting armor, or distinct lack thereof. Not quite what I expected for a mercenary.
Oh, this thing. Not exactly the most practical looking, is it?
No. I like the potions though, I like the poisons. That's a nice touch. Forgive me, but aren't you a bit overdressed or underdressed for a place like the Winking Skeever?
Agreed. But there's a reason I wear these. Let's just say they're a lot tougher than they look.
Well,
You might be surprised.
your thighs are breaking through them, so I'm not so sure about that. Okay, so these last two questions, it wouldn't give them to me at first. I backed out of our conversation, entered again, and now these were available. Your skin markings, those markings, they're fascinating. What are they?
They're skin enchantments. Help keep me durable in battle.
It sounds painful. It sounds fairly uncomfortable. I ran into Isolde in Whiterun. She says hi.
Isolde? Oh yes. I helped her retrieve some stolen goods a while back. Simple enough. It's good to know she remembers me.
You do leave a little bit of an impression. You do stand out a little bit. Well, I don't have any more questions.
Fine. I do have one for you. What job do you want me to do? Is this more of a general escort or a dungeon exploration?
I'm gonna say general escort because, well, if I decide to go into dungeons along the way, we can then, do that as well.
You can definitely hold yourself in a fight.
Thank you.
I appreciate working with people who have combat experience.
How do you know that? Are you a fan? Do you watch my videos?
There are ways to determine someone's combat experience just by looking at them.
I guess not.
A mentor taught me. Here, I'll let you borrow some skill books. It'll make my job easier. And it's nice to be working with you.
I'll have you know, I'm already maxed out on all of those skills. As Ashe shakes your hand, you notice something unusual. Her grip is firm, but the texture of her skin feels different, almost synthetic, like polished stone beneath a thin layer of flesh. Ugh. A strange chill lingers on your palm long after you release her hand. As you journey alongside Ashe, strengthening your bond and uncovering her story, you'll gain access to new capabilities and options for customizing her role as your companion. Many of these features will become available after the conclusion of Chapter 1, A Borrowed Soul. Alright, let's get to it then. Whispers of Whitehair. Increase rapport with Ashe within a safe location, like a settlement. She's a riddle wrapped in silence, yet I sense that understanding her could be vital for our shared journeys ahead. I plan to ask her for more combat insights as a way to break the ice. She has the keen eye of a fighter, after all. Maybe in time this could bloom into friendship. After all, allies are precious in such tumultuous times. Right? It's a shared interest. Fighting, killing people. You did not want to stay seated, did
What's
you?
my strategy?
Talk tactics, part ways. Oh, where are you from anyway?
An isolated mountain region in High Rock. I'm not exactly a local here in Skyrim, though you could probably already tell that from my Breton appearance. I ended up here in Skyrim as it seems like it's the best place for mercenary work.
Well, Civil
And I
War
don't think
will
I'm
do
wrong, seeing as we've been working together.
Do you think we could visit your original abode? It must be tough, leaving High Rock behind.
Yeah. Yeah, it was difficult. Do you need something?
Okay, so you only get to make the one kind of decision there. You only get to talk about it the one time. I can't go back and say, try to understand if she's telling me the truth or not. It doesn't give me that option now. I want to see the tactics menu.
Alright, let's strategize. It's always good to review our approach, especially considering the unpredictable nature of our line of work.
Well, show me your options.
Alright, let's see what we can fine-tune.
Lizette, please stay back. Enable idle dialogue, yes.
Alright, I'll keep the conversation flowing. Always good to share insights and observations, right?
People, NPC interactions, yeah, let's do that.
Sure, I'll chat with the locals. Gathering information can be useful, even if it's just gossip.
It means I get to hear more of her lines, and that's ultimately one of the goals. Follower features I'm curious about.
Let's see what other features we can adjust.
Custom names. Okay, so there's gonna be a list of names that she can read from.
Sorry, that isn't available yet. It'll be available soon, though.
Okay, so that's a feature that's coming later. Very minor thing, that's just me nitpicking, but I almost wish that wasn't listed as an option in the current release then. Because there's something weird about the fact that she says, sorry, that's coming later. Like, the mod is announcing to me future features. They're just... It's weirdly fourth wall breaking.
Stay focused.
Yeah, so, combat insights, way to break the ice. Maybe I can't do it in the inn itself. Maybe we just need to be out in Whiterun or in
May
one
the
of my
gods
homes.
watch over your battles, friend.
Yeah, now that we're just kind of walking around the city, just gonna... Oh, alright, nope. I might need to turn down the brightness on my lantern. It kind of washes her out with my current setting, but now we can say, talk to you for a moment. What combat experience do you have? Yeah.
I specialize with two-handed weapons. You know that already. I'm fair with other combat arts as well, like archery and one-handed weapons. However, I don't know much about spellcasting right now. Still working on that.
Okay.
And if I don't have a weapon on me, I can use my fists. I've been told that they punch like steel, quite literally.
Or stone. Where did you learn to use a sword?
As soon as I was born, if you could put it that way.
That's ominous.
Swinging a sword just came naturally for me. I was swinging ever since I set foot out of the womb. Even though I was a prodigy, no one is born a master swordsman. Took a lot of practice to get where I am today.
It's weird that you said born in quotation marks. Who was your mentor?
My father taught me the basics, but he passed away not long after I was born. So since then, I've mostly been self-taught.
Self-taught?
I needed to survive, and I didn't have anyone I could trust at the time. My father. He was all I ever knew.
What about your mother?
Never knew her. It was always just my father.
What happened to him?
He was killed by assassins. I've made it a point to hunt them down.
Ooh.
That's kind of why I'm taking these mercenary jobs here and there. I need to be sure I can actually kill them.
Oh, good. It's gonna be a revenge
I was
story.
powerless to do anything when it actually happened. That won't be the case anymore.
I'm always down for a good revenge story. I'm always good for like, hey, let's kill the people who killed your father sort of deal. Yeah. Tell me about him.
Not much to tell. I didn't get to know him for very long. I know it sounds sad. I didn't even know the only parent I had that well. But the days I did spend with him, they were memories of pure light. He was so kind, caring. I used to kind of be a buffoon when I was born. It was very embarrassing.
Don't worry, I still am a
But he helped me through it. And for the limited time he could, showed me the ropes of what it meant to live. That was how he put it. My purpose in life was just to live and experience things. Very vague when you think about it. He never got to explaining it. Before he could, well, he kicked the bucket. Would you know what he meant?
It's the thing of, it's not necessarily subtle that they're building to a thing of like, oh, you're not necessarily a normal person. Like, they're making it very clear between the, oh, her flesh feels like stone, her saying born in quotation marks and stuff like that. Well, we can find that meaning out together.
Yeah, I'd like the sound of that.
Do you have any leads on the assassins?
Not currently. They know how to cover their tracks. I'll let you know if I find anything.
They wouldn't happen to be Dark Brotherhood, would they? Because then I could help you out at the risk of breaking one of the tenants.
Glad we're on the same page.
As Ashe turns away, you feel a subtle shift within your own mind, a tingling sensation, like a whisper brushing against your thoughts. It's not spoken words, but an impression, an image, a beckoning towards the realm of dreams. Judging by Ashe's demeanor, she seems unaware of this transmission, a subconscious call, perhaps. Whatever the source, the message is clear. Seek understanding in your sleep. Ooh. Friendship with Ashe grows. You can now trade items and teach Ashe spells. Seek understanding of Ashe's past in the realm of slumber. Hey, you're writing in your diary? Can I read that later? Is that allowed? Ooh. Oh, okay. She does have an animation for it too. I like that. Sorry to interrupt you. Are you writing to someone? Okay, I was wondering if I could bring it up with her.
Oh, yes, I am. About you, actually.
Me?
Yes, you. We've been traveling together for a while now. Why wouldn't I mention you to my friend?
Who are you writing to? Another friend?
A friend. His name's Canas. He knows me better than anyone else. Our relationship has been a bit strained of late, but he's all I have. Outside of you, of course.
No pressure, right? Well, I'll leave you to it then. No more interruptions from me.
As you wish. Alas, I find myself less adept with a quill than with a blade. Perhaps a skill I should cultivate.
Well, I'm sorry. This isn't Kingdom Come Deliverance. I can't learn how to
my
write. I
eyes
can't
open.
teach other people how to
Damn
read
dragons
and
could
write
swoop
and
down
all of
at
that.
any time.
But man, what a fun feature that would be if you just started off the game illiterate and you had to learn how to read. You had a little mini game for it. Once again, a la Kingdom Come Deliverance. You know, with a quest objective like, oh, you know, learn more about Ashe from sleeping, it brings a new meaning to the term sleep on it. And it's probably just going to do the thing of, oh, after 1 hour it's going to wake me up and put me into the quest, but I'll just say 12. A wave of fragmented images floods your mind, not your own, but someone else's. Ashe. It's as if she's reaching out, her deepest memories bleeding into your consciousness. A surge of emotion, raw and powerful, threatens to overwhelm you. A melody, haunting and unfamiliar, begins to rise around you, weaving its way into your very being. Will you embrace this connection, delve into the depths of her past, or will you sever the link? I will proceed with the dream. You wake up in another area. These are Ashe's memories. This was from 6 years ago, somewhere in the Rift.
Father?
Oh,
Father? Where are you?
I'm going out for milk. Don't stop me. I might get some skooma on the way. Okay, can't read the journal. I was gonna try. I like the red hair. Oh, okay. Well, this is bad. Hey, you. Can you move away from the fire, perhaps?
Ashe, my finest creation.
Father, what happened? You're bleeding and about to burn to death.
Father? What happened? You're bleeding.
Just a flesh wound. I'll be fine. I just need a minute. Need to Rest.
You should not rest here. That seems like a bad idea. Who did this to you?
Who did this to you?
Someone from the Dark Brotherhood.
Uh-oh.
Just leave me be. Walked down a path I shouldn't have. Dealt with forbidden magics and knowledge. Stole from people I shouldn't have. It led to her death. But it also made you.
What are you saying? Who is she? I also realize I don't need to be reading this because Ashe is gonna read it.
What are you saying? Who is she?
You don't understand. But one day, I hope you will.
I'm not gonna read it. Sorry. I almost did out of habit, out of just being used to, but I don't have to.
Just stay here. I'll get help.
It's too late. Remember the flower I gave you. Cling to hope and renewal. Remember. Remember.
Rosebud.
Remember.
Father! Continue increasing rapport with Ashe in an in-player home or settlement. You're all I've ever known, all I've had. Please don't go. Please. Man, now I get to be sad and traumatized too. Ashe and I, we will share this trauma. Hold on, where did she go? Did she leave me? Did she just go somewhere else? Have you seen a tall, ashen-haired woman who says she's a Breton, but honestly, I wouldn't have guessed Breton just from looking at her? I'm not sure where she is. Okay, going outside, put her right next to me. There we go.
I miss the flowers back home.
Oh, is that so? The flowers, before I go into the dialogue with her about the dream, I notice you tend to sharpen your sword and adjust your armor a lot.
Observant, aren't you? Maintaining my equipment is essential. Always have to be prepared for the unexpected. You'll never know when a bandit is next going to jump you, or an Oblivion Eldritch monster for that matter.
Oblivion Eldritch monster, you deal with a lot of those?
You've heard of the Oblivion Crisis, haven't you? If not that, Skyrim has plenty of other eccentric hordes to throw at us. Giants, Draugr, the occasional dragon.
I wish it was only occasional. Speaking of being ready, could you maybe temper my sword? Sharpen my sword, temper my armor?
Of course. Consider it a professional courtesy. Besides, I find the process calming. It's meditative, in a way. Like combat, but without the violence.
But it can lead to violence, so that's the most
Though I
important
should
thing.
mention, I only offer this service when we're out in the wilds. If we're in a city with a proper smithy, it's best to let the smiths handle it.
Okay. I kind of wish there was a go back option here. Like a never mind or maybe another time option.
All right then.
To kind of take me back to
What is
the
it?
general main list of dialogue options. Let me say this. I'd like to teach you some spells.
Spells? My systems are a bit unorthodox when it comes to magic.
See, when you say
I
that,
don't cast spells in the traditional sense.
when you say that, that's very ominous.
I've been experimenting with incorporating spell tome schematics into my combat techniques.
Schematics? You mean like blueprints for spells?
Precisely. Think of it as incorporating the spell's essence into my own magical framework. It's a complex process, but if I can successfully adapt its structure, I should be able to emulate its effects.
So you need the actual tome.
Yes, the tomes are essential. They contain the knowledge I need to analyze and incorporate.
It's a thing of technically speaking, we always need the tome too, so I feel like she could have just said that. I don't have any on me right now. I'll have to find some and see what I can find you.
No worries. It's not as if knowledge is going anywhere. Let me know when you've acquired something suitable for my particular needs.
Yeah, I'll have to go bug Sybil then. Can I talk to you for a moment?
What did you want to talk about?
Well, I'm avoiding the dream sequence for a second, and we'll get to that momentarily. I notice you keep an odd-looking flower in your bag. Ooh, alright, there you go. I want to see what she has to say before I bring up the dream.
It's called a lunar tear. I don't believe there's a lot of those in Skyrim.
There are. It sounds very Elden Ring-ish.
It's very special to me. This tear is the only memento I have of my father.
It's not, it is what I think when I hear lunar tear. I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's honestly alright. I've come to terms with what's happened.
When did it happen? What happened?
I'd still rather not talk about it, if that's alright. You already know all that you need to know. He's dead, and now I'm trying to avenge him.
Oh, I know more. Don't you worry. Can you tell me more about the lunar tears?
It's a flower that my father used to grow. I'm not sure where he got the seeds from, because they can't be found anywhere else in Tamriel. I just know that he told me that from where they're from, they're symbols of hope and renewal. That they represent the possibility of a better future, even in the midst of despair.
That's a good message.
And that's probably just horsewash. Arya was buried 6 feet under, along with all the ideals he had.
When did this happen?
I'm not sure. My considerable intelligence usually lets me keep track of things like this, but I guess I was just existing, for lack of a better term, for a good deal of time after my father's death. For years, I'd say.
That's grief for you.
For a while, I felt like I no longer had a purpose. He gave me motivation, but my purpose went away with him after he passed. Now I've resolved to have a new purpose, avenging his death. At least it's getting me out of the haybed every morning.
Alright, so now let's talk about the dream. Well, don't just stand there. Oh, okay, now, yeah, I will tell her.
You saw that? My memories? How is that even possible? No, it can't be. Those are my memories. Deeply personal. Painful. You couldn't have. Perhaps it was a mistake to talk about him. It brings back too much. Let's just focus on the task at hand. Just forget what you saw. It wasn't real. It was just a dream.
Sure, just a dream, right? She seems surprised and a bit shaken by her dream. You sense a deeper layer of vulnerability beneath her usual composure. Perhaps this shared experience has brought you closer. Or maybe she thinks you're a little nosy. I feel like I'd be a little wary if someone dreamed about my memories. I'm like, I don't know if I want to hang out with you now.
What's our next plan of action?
Here we go. Always wondered, why do your clothes look so different? Is High Rock really that different from here?
They're inspired by Breton embroidery. But yes, the heels definitely make them stand out. Visually speaking, it's fashionable. Practically speaking, it enhances my mobility in a way traditional armor, even most light armor, would restrict.
How do the boots help you move?
You'd be surprised. These aren't your average heels. They adjust their height and weight distribution for maximum stability. My father designed the core technology. It was admittedly for different purposes, but I repurposed it into what I have now. As for the skirt, it allows for more freedom of movement. Less protection, but that's what my greaves are for.
Clever design, so it's more than just fashion, then.
It's functional, comfortable, and serves as a reminder of my past. That's all that matters.
Your past? Well, how did you acquire the armor?
My father gave it to me. Of course, bit bulkier back then.
Oh, whoa, alright.
Let's just say I've made a few adjustments over the years for functionality, and perhaps a touch of personal flair.
Don't you ever get cold in it?
Surprisingly, no. My construction grants me an unusual resistance to the elements. Temperature fluctuations rarely trouble me.
Okay, I was gonna say, I wanna be able to ask her what that means, yeah.
Forget I said anything.
You're not very subtle. That's the thing. How do citizens in Skyrim react to your outfit looking so different?
Most react with mild curiosity. Skyrim sees its fair share of travelers, so a foreigner's attire rarely raises eyebrows. Some might find my style unconventional, but they usually keep their thoughts to themselves. Those who know me better understand it serves a practical purpose.
Tell me more about the material.
The base is a blend of flexible metal weaving and dynamic tonal architecture, both concepts inspired by Dwemer technology. My father used those principles to create a material both protective and adaptable.
I'm just imagining... just imagining the dwarves, you know, with their big, long, braided beards, but dressed as essentially French maids, you know? Oh, God. Oh, where's the fan art of that? Flexible metal tonal architecture? You lost me.
Oh, forgive me. Imagine metal woven so finely it resembles cloth, yet retains its strength. As for tonal architecture, it involves manipulating materials with sound, imbuing them with unique properties.
Oh, well, you know, as Dragonborn, I know tonal architecture. I imbue my enemies with shouts, and in doing so, they die. How did your father come up with this technology?
He was commissioned by the Thalmor to create a new nimble armor material.
Oh?
As light as cloth and as protective as ebony.
Thalmor?
He later backed out of the project. He never intended for his creations to be used for war, after all.
Ooh. Did the Thalmor hire the Dark Brotherhood to kill your dad? Well, thanks for explaining your outfit's unique. That's for sure.
Glad you appreciate it.
Any combat or adventuring advice?
With what particularly?
All of it. Shields, short-range weapons, dual-wielding, archery. I'm gonna say archery.
A fully drawn bow holds the promise of a swift end. Ensure your draw is true and let your arrows fly with purpose. Beyond that, my expertise is limited. My experiences don't encompass archery.
Oh, okay, and I can actually ask her if she can train me.
I'd be happy to. But do expect rigor. My methods are designed to push your limits. Shall we proceed?
Yeah, let's try it. I hope it doesn't mean I have to fight her right here, but we'll see.
Excellent choice. We'll start with sword techniques. Precision and efficiency are key. Draw your weapon. Let's begin.
Oh, that's a yes. Oh,
Start
we're gonna
with
fight.
fundamental offensive and defensive patterns. Control is essential. Let the sword become an extension of your will.
I draw my sword with finesse and style, one-handed greater than 25. I do like the skill check.
Very good. It looks like you already have the basics down. Let's start working on different attack combinations. I want you to execute a series of slashes and stabs. Not at me, just the air. I don't have a target for you, but imagine there's one there.
I like she's like, not me, don't stab
Don't hold
me.
back. Let it all out. Your movements are swift and graceful. You've got natural talent.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to actually... Oh. I wasn't sure if I actually had to stab the air. Ashe is now willing to let you manage her outfit, however she still prefers the default cumulative armor. Got it. Okay, cool. So I set her to her default armor, which is the outfit that I liked a little bit more, because it has... Oh, never mind, it's swapped off.
Yes? What did you
But-
need?
Yeah, that's the outfit that I like. That's the
What would you like
armor
me to
that I
wear?
like, because it is more armored.
All right. What would you like me to wear?
Okay, so she wears different outfits, or she can wear different outfits in town. So you can assign different outfits for it in combat, in town, and so on. Got it. Okay, so I think what it is that it's defaulting to this outfit when she's in town, and in combat, she'll then use the armor. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get some spell tomes. I'm gonna see if I can teach her the spell tomes, and then we can continue her dialogue.
Unless
Obviously,
we have
this is going to be a
specific
little
business,
bit more
I'm not
dialogue
interested.
heavy. Early on, we're still getting to know her, we're still getting into the introduction to her story, but I think we'll have some other characters. I know we'll have other characters and some adventures as she reveals more to us. When I played Marty's previous mod, the Serana Dialogue Add-on, one thing I always said was that on a technical level, technically speaking, it was really impressive, and I feel like he's only improved his
It's so good to see you
kinda
again.
his technical prowess in modding since then.
I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this.
And in the case of SDA, the Serana Dialogue Add-on, that was after years and years of work and additions and new features being added. This is version 1 of Ashe, so we're still going to be waiting on some additional features to make it as complete as the Serana Dialogue Add-on is, but the story is told in full. Like, Ashe's story, I believe, is completely done, which is what I personally am, the most interested in.
I'd rather fight for my life than live it.
Alright, well, I have some spell tomes for you.
Always eager to expand my tactical options. Let's see what you've acquired.
Oh, I actually had a few on me. That's my bad. Well, Healing Hands. Perfect. Stone Flesh. Perfect. Lesser Ward. Ice Spike. I'm just gonna do those for now.
Excellent. I'll put these new spells to good use.
Part of it is I'm also thinking about what I'd actually want her to use in combat as well.
Yes, what is it?
How does not having a family in the typical sense feel for you?
No, family. I only ever had a father, and even now he's gone. It's complex for me, to say the least.
How do you cope with the absence of a traditional family?
I've learned to adapt, I guess. Find solace in the connections I can make. Like the one I have with you.
Take that other friend that she writes to, she already maybe likes me more. Granted, it did even say it's like, oh, her romantic interest grows. All it took was showing that I'm not incompetent with a sword. You haven't eaten much since we started traveling. Do you ever get hungry? It's also the thing of some of these dialogue options are meant to take place over more and more time traveling with her, but I'm just doing them as they pop up, obviously.
How does this relate to our missions and quests? I don't see the tactical bearings here. I just don't have a huge appetite.
Well, I have...
I'm not a very good liar, am I?
Not really, no.
Certain foods don't give me the necessary nutrition as it does for others.
Mm-hmm.
It's a health disorder of sorts, but I'm not dying or anything.
It's nearly time to collect taxes
Then
on your
what foods do you eat? If you tell me that you just use shots of dwarven oil, I'm gonna be a little concerned.
Yes, I have actually. Just because I don't eat often doesn't mean I don't have favorite foods. I quite enjoy sweet rolls for one. They're just so delectable.
Well then.
What foods do you enjoy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It seems I should get you some sweet rolls. Sweet rolls too? I mean, who doesn't like sweet rolls? Mud crab legs, roast chicken, and beef.
I should very much like to see you try it, my dear.
I mean, if we're being honest, if I'm being honest, it's gonna be the mud crab legs.
Mud crab legs? And here I thought I was weird.
Oh.
There is one food that feeds me, though, and that's elsewhere fondue.
Ooh.
One of the recipes that I know of that fortifies magicka. However, that's the exception here.
So what food gives you sustenance? Or what gives you sustenance if not food?
Magicka. You probably noticed I guzzle magicka potions quite often. Since food can't sustain me, I resort to magicka. Kind of like how a vampire feeds on blood, except I'm not a vampire.
Then what are you?
Pelinal Whitestrake.
What? Puzzled face with some shock. You're a gay android sent from the future?
I'm kidding, you should have seen your face. Death to all Aelids, I am an automaton, beep boop, beep boop.
Oh no, it's Pelin a Whitestrake!
Seriously though, I guess I'm just
Hide the elves.
different. Let's keep it at that. Hopefully this doesn't change anything.
I mean, Pelin a Whitestrake's pretty damn cool, so if you want to start saying beep boop, I'm not gonna complain. How'd you get started in the mercenary business? Don't mind the fact that we're in someone's bedroom right now.
I guess I just started. There wasn't any formal guild I needed to join. I just started going to inns and making myself available. Oh, that came out wrong. By available, I don't mean the other thing.
I was actually
I don't have anything
gonna make
against
a
that
joke.
profession. It just isn't for me.
I was tempted to make
Anyway,
the joke. It was
business
there.
on that front has been kind of rough. Both figuratively and literally.
I mean, I paid you 200 gold and you haven't had to lift your sword at all. We just stood around in my house and now in the Blue Palace. It's a very easy gig right now. It's a very cushy gig when you think about it. business has been hard both figuratively and literally?
Firstly, I haven't been able to find many clients. Most merchants already have mercenaries and aren't looking for another one. And by literally, I've definitely been in some tough scrapes. I almost became Dwemer Scrap at some points.
Oh?
I hope my skills have been sufficient.
Can I call her out on that comment? No, okay. I was wondering, I would have liked if I could say, oh, do you mean literally? Well, you've proven yourself in combat. You're an excellent teacher.
Glad to see my skills are recognized. You aren't that bad yourself. You can pull your weight. I admire that about you.
You're the first person to tell me that. Ooh, God. No, you just kind of suck, honestly. Good to see that's the same for yourself, despite being a beginner.
Beginner my ass. I'm still better than you.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Tell you what, let's spar.
Oh.
My blade to yours. Then we'll see who's the learner and who's the master.
Alright, Obi-Wan. Alright, on guard! Alright, shall we begin? That's my mana rust.
Quickly.
Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. That's my, that was my, fishing rod.
What just done?
I'm on fire.
And I've seen worlds come
She actually does a decent amount of damage.
see that
Wait
one
a
coming.
second. How strong is
Not
she?
today.
Oh my god, look at her health.
Is that
Versus
all you've got?
my health.
Come on, show me the spark.
I will say I am
Now if you'll excuse
currently
me,
an
my
expert.
work
Hey, don't you do that. Don't you do that.
Gotcha.
No archery, not here, not now. Yeah. What if I just died? What if I just
let
outright
your guard
died
down.
right now?
That time
And she
had
didn't
come.
stop when I got low on health.
Let's meet this evening and make the arrangements.
Okay,
Oh,
that's that.
well done.
Knew it. Too easy.
Let me see your HP pool real quick,
Oh, I'm
because,
sorry. Did I imply that you'd be meeting for
I'm
purposes
curious.
other than court business?
It's good to see you show some heart for once. You're usually so absent. Also, sorry about getting your blood
I should
on the
very
window.
much
It's not my
like
window, but
quiet,
still.
Steward.
Yeah,
Stop it, both of you.
absent.
You're acting like
Hey. Thanks.
For getting my ass beat. We're closer now, because she beat me to a pulp.